What is going on with all of my people of the planet? Thank you guys so much. I am D Venom. Thank you guys for joining me in regard to Raising Vibrations Podcast, also known as Addiction, Relapse, and Recovery, soon to be Addiction and Recovery. I hope all of my people of the planet, especially all of my people of addiction, are staying on that straight and narrow and doing everything possible to elude those psychic vampires, negative energies, along with podbean trolls, scallywags, and relapse from one's lives. We all should know by now, yes, that those particular elements only take away from our energies and our vibrations. If we could elude them at all costs, we have done our own selves some justice and a huge favor. And with that being said, let's get into Raising Vibrations. Thank you. Thank you. Raising Vibrations Podcast, starting right now. All right, you guys, I'm not going to keep you all for too long. My stomach is, pretty much telling me it's hungry. I just got done wrapping up a couple of errands not that long ago, and I'm across the street at the park/courthouse recording this episode for you guys. It's hot, and I don't feel like running my air and, wasting gas or whatever. So I'm trying to allow the universe to cool me down with her breeze. She just slapped me with a little bit of a breeze, but, it's still moist. I'm sweating and whatever else. But Spirit told me as I was driving, taking care of my errands, to reach out to you guys via an episode. And that's what I'm doing. There's been a lot going on, in regard to, changes behind the scenes. You all know that I'm in the process of moving, or we're in the process of moving. And there's been a lot going on with, my landlord, whom, from my understanding, has been fired. It's a long story that I won't get into, tonight. I will probably create another episode and go into further detail. But, myself and the landlord had, some final words with each other. And, the building has been sold. If I haven't told you guys, which I do believe, the building was in the process of being sold. There were some potential owners that came by, or potential buyers that came by to look at the property, but they bypassed on it. I guess they figured out that there was going to be more money invested in regard to fixing shit versus, the money invested in buying the property itself. But the landlord, with his glib talk, obviously got over on these individuals that bought the property. And, from the phone call that I had with the new owners, a female, they didn't even know that I was in the process of, excuse me. They didn't even know that I was in the process of getting ready to move out. And I'm not going to say they begged me to stay, but they asked me on several occasions if I would, remain in the unit. Hell no, I'm not remaining in that damn unit. I have the opportunity, and thanks to the universe, she put a buffer in between myself and signing that damn lease. I was so close to signing that lease, and something told me not to do it. Just look for a different place to stay. And I'm glad that I did. I lucked up. Even though I won't have, a yard like I do now, I will have a washer and dryer in the unit. I will still have, a nice private patio. I will still have 2 bedrooms. I won't get a fireplace, which is okay. I will be in a great location, and the universe decided to put me a little bit closer to the mountains. And, I'm very happy, and I'm still going to be on this side of town. I will still be, close to work and whatever. And speaking of work, I still work at, One Step Beyond Inc., the organization that centers around helping intellectually challenged and or special needs individuals. I do believe I'm past my 30-something day mark. And, oh my God. There's been a lot going on at the job, some good and, some negative. I won't get into too much because I don't want to discourage anyone for being there for those individuals that, need our help. But, I'm still reaching for a position in regard to being a peer support specialist. I did have an opportunity to fulfill that role because I think about a month or so ago in Mesa, Arizona, there was a event held called the Second Chance event. And this event centered around helping individuals freshly released from jail and or prison rehabilitate themselves, get jobs, earn money, and, live a, productive life. And they were hiring for peer support specialists. And it was on my day off too. I decided to take the initiative and, go for it. So I drove to Mesa and, I stood in line like everyone else, and I finally made it inside and, reached the booth where they were hiring for peer support specialists. And, long story short, a person gave me their, business card and email address, phone number, and they wanted me to email my resume to their, email address. And I did just that. And, after much persistence, I found out a couple of days ago that, the job wasn't, offered to me. Before I found this out, I received an email, in regard to a job opportunity that I thought was from this particular company hiring for peer support specialists. And I went ahead and signed the documents and whatever else, and come to find out it's from the, school system. You guys know, you guys definitely know that I used to work for the school system here in Phoenix, Arizona, and, didn't too much care for it. But overall, I thought about my abundance. The universe is showing me that the windows of opportunity are open. Even though I did not get the job that I wanted, I still have a chance at other opportunities, and she's showing me this, and I appreciate it. Anyway, I have a opportunity to work for three schools that, three schools of choice or whatever the case may be. I briefly went through the schools. I see that there was a high school and maybe a couple of middle schools. There were different pay rates for each school. And, like I said, I went ahead and signed the documents and, forwarded them over, and I received an email back from them. And, I have some more documents to sign, and I guess I will officially be employed with, back with the school district. But they need to understand, moving forward, I do have a current position, and, if they can work with me in regard to, my days off, which are Wednesdays and Thursdays, I can work, for the school system. But other than that, I'm dedicated to my current position. If they can work around that, that will be fine. And I will just go ahead and do my due diligence in regard to the school system and those kids that, need their lunch or whatever else the case may be. But anyway, when I went to that second chance hiring event, I was told that, the only area that was hiring for peer support specialists was the Mesa, Arizona area. And, I was talking to someone, and this is why it's, good to do your own research or whatever the case may be, because you could never trust the word of man, I promise you. But I was talking to someone, I believe at my current, job, in regard to, me being a peer support specialist and, me really wanting to fulfill my role in regard to helping addicts. And, they were like, you may want to try, my God, my mouth is so dry, you guys, and I don't have any water. Anyway, well, yes, I do. In the back seat. Damn, I don't, fuck. Hold on. Never mind. I'm going to keep going. Anyway, whoever I spoke with was, they foreshadowed the fact that I need to try a, website called Job Recruiter, and there I will get the answer to, my questions or whatever. And, I, took it upon, I took it upon myself to check out, the information that they, foreshadowed to me. And, I, got on the website, and, I put in the search engine, peer support specialist. And do you guys know that all of these positions in the Phoenix, Arizona area and beyond, came up for peer support specialists. And I was, a little shocked because I was told at that hiring event, I'm not saying that they were lying, but, they just told me the Mesa, Arizona area, was hiring and, not Phoenix or anything like that. But, I'm glad that the universe linked me up with someone that, gave me some vital information, and I still may have that particular opportunity to fulfill my role as a peer. Even if I don't get the education, from these organizations that are too lazy to hire train not only myself, but other peers that are having difficulties, entering the field. I'm taking the bull by the horns once again. I will get into that here momentarily, but, anyway, oh my God, what else has been going on? Oh my goodness. I should have wrote some things down, but, after I, cleaned up a little bit, packed up some things in the kitchen and, I dropped some stuff off, at a drop area, for some homeless people to, pick up, some stuff that I didn't want. Then I further went on, to do my errands or whatever. And now I'm, here with you guys. But, anyway, damn, what else oh my God. I do apologize, you guys. The main reason why I reached out to you all is because the fact that I did not get that peer support specialist position sparked fire underneath my ass. And it pissed me off at the fact that, there are people such as myself that are willing and able and ready to help these addicts out there that are still suffering in silence. And the fact that I guess I don't have the educational background that some other individuals have. I can't become a peer support specialist. In the beginning, I did not know that all of these other qualifications came with the job or the position. I just thought that, you live the life of an addict or whatever. And like the big book says, the Alcoholic Anonymous book says, the power of sharing. So I just thought that, from my experience or whatever, I could help the next addict out there and whatever else. But it seems like there's, maybe some schooling, whatever, there's some training because, during my, virtual interview in regard to being a peer support specialist, they kept it real with me that, there are people that come into the facility, freshly under the influence of drugs and, they don't want to be told shit. You can't redirect them verbally. So you have to redirect them physically. No different than my current position. Some of those members, that they will knock your ass out type scenario, because they're going through a lot of different things, psyche wise. So, and some of them are very, physically strong. So, if we can't redirect them verbally, we're going to have to get physical with them. And a peer support specialist role that can turn into a physical altercation because we're dealing with and it can turn into a physical altercation, and it can turn into a physical altercation in regard to my current job, but I think it's more prone in regard to being a peer. So, even though, like I said, I did not get that position, the universe has put a buffer in between myself and that particular role for now. I'm learning so much, and thank God for this book that the universe, I can't thank her enough. The universe has put me in places at the right moment, at the right time. And now that I'm in a place of recovery and sobriety, the pieces of the puzzle are so coming together for me. It was meant for me to take my ass to Glendale, Arizona and go to the astrology store. I went there looking for a book in regard to how to communicate with the universe. And out of all those damn books that I looked through, I ended up coming across, I can't pronounce her name correctly, but I'm going to try my best. Yamile Yemoonyah. Anyway, the cover of the book is white and it has like some gold, embroidery or trimmings or whatever on it, and it says the 7 type. But let me make sure I got the book in my backpack, but I'm too lackadaisical to reach for it. The 7 type of spirit guide, how to connect with your cosmic helpers. And in the beginning, my ADHD took away from me enjoying the book like I wanted to. But I'm to the point, just like with my ego, I'm starting to appreciate my ADHD. I did not know it, thanks to Recovia. They foreshadowed the fact that people with ADHD, autism, and certain other mental, I don't want to say disorders, but imbalances are recruited for their mindset because we think outside the box. And that made me even more confident in regard to having what I have in regard to my ADHD and bipolar. I've been meditating a hell of a lot so that I can further increase my vibrations, and the universe wants me to do this. But anyway, I've been receiving so many different messages via the universe in regard to my approach, reaching out to addicts that are still suffering in silence. Yes, they want me to get some teaching from man, but the spirit realm was here before all of this stuff was created, including man. They have the answers to everything that I need moving forward in regard to my life, being a peer support specialist, and whatever else. This is one reason why I did not surrender my battle of addiction to any 12-step groups or anything like that. Even Recovia, they had to wait. I first surrendered my battle. I do believe in this very parking lot, maybe not in this very spot, but I was in this very parking lot, on the court side. And I do believe that that's when I threw my hands up to the spirit realm and told them, y'all can have this battle with my addiction. I'm tired of the shit. And since then, I pretty much have been, floating on top, things, oh my God. I have let some blessings slip through my fingers by being very 3D. Like I told you guys, expert of YouTube reached out to me, and I'm all over the place with this, but while I'm talking, different things are coming to my little ADHD mind that, I'm just going to, put out there and let that be the reason, because I don't have any notes. But, anyway, oh my God, I forgot where I was going, but anyway, by me reading this book, I'm working with my ADHD. That's where I was at. So anyway, just like I'm working with my shadow, I'm working with my ADHD. I don't want to dislike my ADHD. I want to partner up with my ADHD and build a better relationship with it. We can make some shit happen, but we just have to be on the same frequency. So through meditation, I have been, introducing my higher self or my soul, to my ADHD or my ego. And, I'm taming the ego, so to speak, even though I still, do certain things. Like, for instance, while I was out, driving around, I was bumping music and all that type of stuff. That is all the ego. When I stop doing all of that shit and just enjoy my ride, the wind, the universe, and all of that stuff, I would definitely be in a whole different place in regard to my, spirituality. But right now, I'm still, borderline 3D in regard to my behavior or whatever the case may be. I'm looking at a scallywag right in front of me, pulling this motherfucking wagon with all of his stuff. This is the scallywag that I tried to fuck around with. There was 2 scallywags right in this very parking lot. Remember, I went live, and did I go live? No, I created an episode, and no, I think I went live. Either or, I was in the Circle K parking lot, not too far from where I'm at right now, and I was talking to both the scallywags, and we were talking about drugs and some of everything else, and we ended up coming to this parking lot, and the whole time I recorded every motherfucking thing, and anyway, I've been trying to get dick from the scallywag for who knows how long, and it never succeeded. But just looking at him, and I don't want to put myself on a pedestal, because I'm now, did I tell you guys while I'm rambling off at the mouth, the last time that I checked the calendar, I am or was 120 something days clean from methamphetamine, porn, sex. Well, let me quit lying. I have tugged the meat a couple of times, and I didn't release, but I just, gave myself a chance to feel this sensation all over again. And honestly, I didn't like what I was doing. I'm very far into my spirituality to the point where, you know, masturbation and touching myself and stuff like that is not like it used to be when I was a part of, you know, the Matrix or the drug world or whatever. You know, I have so much power considering the fact that I have withheld 120 something days. The same day that I stopped methamphetamine is the same day that I stopped fucking around with sex, scallywags, you know, porn, all that stuff. I am so deep into the semen retention that it is benefiting me so good. You know, I have people following me in regard to, you know, certain pheromones that I'm releasing, you know, due to my semen retention. You know, my aura is shining a lot brighter and my energetic levels are a lot more stronger. My voice is a lot deeper. I'm eating healthier. I cut out meat. I mean, oh my God, I'm just really diving into my spiritual walk. And now that I'm doing this, I'm understanding, and I do apologize, you guys, if I'm all over the place, you know, so bear with me, but I understand now exactly what my spirit guides have been telling me in regard to utilizing my spiritual gifts in order to help people that need my help the most. And it's not about singing. It's not about dancing. It's not about acting. It's not about any of that shit. It's about the spiritual gifts that all of us have congenital. Some of us are afraid to dive into them, but I'm not. You know, it's about embracing and utilizing those spiritual gifts to help others. I know that I am psychic. I know that I have the clairs. I'm not sure. I'm kind of sure which ones. I know that I have clairaudience. I know that I have sensitive, I think that is when you're sensitive to certain things. I know that I have certain oh man, I can't think of all the clairs, but, you know, the more that, and thanks to that book, The 7 Type of Spirit Guide, you know, the person that wrote the book, Yamile, I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, the person that wrote the book, comes from indigenous ancestral background. I think Colombia is a part of that, and you know, some other different regions of the world are a part of this person's background. And the more that I read the book in regard to connecting with my spirit guides, the more that my heart, my soul, my energetic levels, everything around me was telling me that I need to dive into a part of me that will break my ancestral lineage. And I'm, you know, thank God that my eldest sibling sent me the ancestral kit, and I took it and I, you know, got my results, and I was blown away. I was in tears when I was reading my results. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole list of, you know, what's raining within my veins, but there is a part of me that is Mesoamerican Mesoamerican and Andean. And I looked into my people before, and I was intrigued with what I seen. These are a beautiful people, long hair, you know, a different skin type, you know, I just knew that I didn't know that they were indigenous, but I just knew that they were some different set of individuals. Anyway, the more, like I said, the more that I dove into, you know, the book that I just foreshadowed to you guys, the more that it just led me to that part of me that, like I said, is going to crack my spiritual lineage. I know damn good and well that that my Mesoamerican and Andean individuals have practiced some type of spiritual ceremonies in order to reach out to spirit guides. And reading the book that I foreshadowed, The 7 Type of Spirit Guide, there's a ceremony called, or a ritual called ayahuasca, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And I did some research in regard to my people, Mesoamerican and Andean, and come to find out they are indigenous individuals. And there's what regions? I think Mexico, Colombia, Peru. I think there's a couple of regions that just, oh my God, I was so in awe with it. And I have yet to do further research in regard to their spiritual practices in regard to reaching spirit guides. I have a funny feeling ayahuasca may be a part of this. And it was meant for me, like I said, to get that damn book from the astrology store. It was meant for me to read everything that I'm reading right now. The spirit world wants me to reach out to my people of addiction in a spiritual aspect and use my gifts in order to relieve them of their, walk with addiction and addiction and relapse, and put them into their recovery phase. So what I am going to do, and what I've been looking into, are mediumship courses, psychic ability courses. I'm looking into shamans within my local area, and I'm taking my spirituality to a whole different level, because this is exactly what the spiritual realm wants me to do, and I get it now. It all comes together for me now. The fact that the veil has been lifted, Satan has no more control over me. He may try to influence me with scallywags. I just told y'all, the scallywag that just walked through here with that damn wagon. He's trying to influence me at every cost, because he knows that I'm about to break in regard to abundance and a lot of different things. It's just, it's all within divine timing, and I'm not rushing the universe. I'm not doing that. Now that I have put so much faith in the universe, and now that I'm speaking her language, and I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I've been watching videos via YouTube in regard to how to speak the universe's language, because I am damn for real in regard to having a solid relationship with the spirit realm and the universe. And the fact that I'm learning her language, which is the language of vibrations and love and whatever else. All of these blessings and doors are just opening for me, and I'm just super excited to move forward and take you guys with me. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to definitely do some research in regard to this ayahuasca ceremony, and I'm definitely going to dive deeper in regard to my people, which are the Mesoamerican and Andean individuals. You guys are going to be the key to my spiritual lineage, and this is going to unlock a lot of motherfucking shit, even potential, all that stuff, answers to a lot of different things, and I'm definitely on the right path. So I thank those individuals that pretty much denied me the position in regard to being a peer support specialist. It's not about their knowledge, even though I may need their knowledge, but it's about the knowledge of the spirit realm, because they know what I need versus what, man think that I need. And, I'm definitely, am team spirit, versus man at this particular point. Anyway, oh my God, I do apologize, you guys, but I really wanted to just update you all in regard to what has been going on. But my main thing is to, put forward in regard to, this whole spiritual thing that I'm going through. I'm definitely, I'm not going to say too much, but spirituality is definitely going to be incorporated in regard to, and just like reading the big book, the big book does not stop stressing the point that every addict that, go through, what they're going through needs to experience a spiritual experience or a spiritual awakening. And I've been going through, so many different awakenings, but just ignoring the signs and whatever else. And now I'm not doing that. I'm embracing all of this, and it's leading me or guiding me to some wonderful places. And I'm definitely, I'm not going to force, spirituality or anything like that on addicts, but I'm definitely going to influence it, because I can't express it enough in regard to the magic happening for myself. The fact that, the universe, she's like with the landlord, for instance, not that I've told you guys, the full story, but the universe seen through them just like I seen through them. And, now they're no longer working for the company. So, that's karma all in itself. And I appreciate the fact that the universe, took action just like I took action when I walked my ass in there and, pay that last month's rent, which is this month's rent, with that damn camera all up in their motherfucking faces because, they tried to treat me stupid. And, I talked about this on my social media platform. When you are attached or associated with a certain background, people will try to, treat you as inadequate. For instance, I have been a part of the, governmental assistance program called Section 8 for some years. If you guys are unfamiliar with that program, it centers around helping low-income individuals and or families with their rent, utilities, and things of that particular nature. And anyway, I've learned along the way of being a participant of Section 8 that a lot of landlords think that we are stupid and we can't read between the lines in regard to a lot of different shit. And, that's another thing I didn't tell y'all. Upon reading my lease, and you guys start reading your leases because I'm very, very, very impetuous in regard to reading my lease. But when I read that shit, come to find out in the lease, it states that I live in a 3-bedroom apartment when I live in a, 2-bedroom apartment. And so I confronted, the landlords about this, when I went there to pay that last rent with my camera all up in their face, and they allege that it's a typo. Okay, if it's a typo, y'all never bothered, Excuse me, I'm so sorry, you guys. My mouth is so dry. If it's a typo, you guys never bothered to correct that damn typo either. So there's a thing called RUBS here in Arizona. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else, throughout the world, but I know it's here in Arizona for sure. It stands for Ratio Utility Bill System. It's some type of system that I guess help keep the electric water bill down or whatever the case may be. But anyway, come to find out, I've been paying 30 something cent more because allegedly I have the bigger apartment compared to all the other apartments. But then I received an email from the secretary, that deals with the property or whatever, and they said in the email, and I will screenshot it and upload it for you guys. I have no reason to lie. In the email, it states that something about the RUBS and all the apartments, including mine, are equal in size. So something's not adding up because the woman that I talked to that are, that's a part of the new management told me that I'm paying 30 cents more because the unit that I occupy is larger than the other. So I thought because I have the backyard or whatever, that makes it larger. But I'm telling y'all, there is so much stuff that is coming to the surface in regard to all this shit in regard to my living arrangement that I'm just so happy that I guess I stuck around as long as I did in order to see true character in regard to a lot of different things. But the whole fact of it is that man, I can't express it enough, I'm going to do what I have to do in order to help them damn addicts, and I'm going to do it in a spiritual sense. Bottom line, that damn book, The 7 Spirit Guides or whatever the case may be, how to communicate with your spirit helpers, that book was meant for me to see because it is unlocking a lot of things in regard to, oh my God. Oh my goodness. I just wish I would have wrote some things down so I could have stayed on track with you guys. But, like I said, I'm out and about and, Spirit just told me to pull in this damn parking lot and just reach out to you guys, regardless. And that's what I'm doing. But I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. 33 time of this recording. Obviously, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, regardless if I'm off track or whatever. The spirit realm is definitely letting me know that they approve of, they approve of me sitting in this parking lot and listening to them. They told me to pull in this bitch and pretty much reach out to you guys. And that's what I'm doing. And I looked down at the time, 3333. That's the Ascended Masters all day long. And speaking of, the book that I'm foreshadowing lets me know what spirit guides I work with the most. I do believe the Ascended Masters are the top of the chain in regard to the spirit guides that I'm working with. And then I did the test or the quiz or whatever on a couple of occasions, and my answers, of course, changed now that I redone the test. I forgot what guys I was working with the most when I first did the quiz or test, but now I am working mostly with the ancestor. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm working mostly with the Ascended Masters, and then I found out I'm working the second spirit guides that I'm working most with are the star beings. And when I read that portion in the book in regard to star beings, I literally cried, you guys. It's a long story, but I will foreshadow a little bit. When I was homeless, before I was homeless, I was living in Las Vegas, and my grandmother, when she was alive, she bought my mom and I Wolfgang Puck ovens. This is when Wolfgang Puck came out with those, popular conventional ovens or whatever, and they were great. Anyway, long story short, I went homeless, and I had put all of my stuff in storage, and this storage wasn't rat proof or anything like that. So mice ended up getting into the storage, pissed and shit all over the damn place, and just some of everything. And it took me a while to obtain a place. So I didn't think that Wolfgang Puck oven was going to work, and along the way, the one that my mom had ended up dying out. She could never get it to work again. So after I found my place, which was, I do believe, this apartment that I'm about to move the fuck out of, I took some time out to clean that Wolfgang Puck oven. And, I prayed to my grandmother. I'm just like, please work, whatever. And when I plugged it in, it came on, and it worked like it normally did, before I, went through my homeless phase. And I was shocked, by that, and plus, like I told you guys, my mouse died, played out. So anyway, when I was reading the book in regard to star beings, they were talking about how star beings, I guess, connect with us or whatever. And they said something about they connect with us through electricity. And that's, I think, was the moment when I let loose and, started crying or whatever, because it reminded me of that Wolfgang Puck oven. And I'm just like, that oven probably wasn't working just like, my mom's, but I honestly feel that the star beings came through, and including my grandmother, and they sparked life into that damn Wolfgang Puck, and is currently still cooking my meals. So this is what I mean by me becoming, or just diving more into my spirituality, and just really, really knowing that the universe is guiding my every damn step to where I need to be. And the fact that they are opening the doors to my spiritual lineage, and I know that damn Mesoamerican and Andean, my people are going to unlock what I need in regard to reaching out to my spirit guides even more. And I can't wait to get home and, just dive into it and write down notes and whatever else the case may be, and just take it from there. But anyway, I feel like I need to end this so that I can get home and, work on my other social media platforms, et cetera, et cetera. I do apologize if, I did not, stay on track for the most part. But I just really wanted to just hurry up and reach out to you guys and just give y'all as much info as I possibly could, because it could be a little while until I come back and reach back out to you all, because, I'll be moving, working, or whatever else. So, but anyway, thanks to each and every last one of you guys, my newest followers. Thank you guys very much. Thanks to, people that fell off the bandwagon. Thank y'all too. Thanks to my listeners, downloaders. I do know that I need to, raise my vibrations in regard to my numbers because my, statistics don't lie. But, all of that will happen gradually. The whole point is, I still have engagement with you guys and, people are still following and whatever else. And I appreciate that people are still downloading my episodes. And I really do appreciate that. I also, speaking of blessings that, I let slip through my fingers, I did reach out to the but I did reach out to the expert of YouTube that wanted to SEO monetize my content. And due to me being 3D conscious at that time, I'm so sorry, you guys. My throat is so damn dry. My mouth is so dry. Due to me being 3D conscious, 3D consciousness. No, fuck it. Due to me, for about the 8th time, being 3D conscious at that particular time, my reply to that email was so anal. I just thought that I could do this all by myself without any form of collaborations. And, God showed me the whole different way. So anyway, I reached out to that expert and, I wanted to, apologize for my actions or whatever the case may be and see if they still wanted to move forward. I haven't heard back from them, so I guess I somewhat blew my offer. But I still have, I still have the magazines that, reached out to me in regard to interviews. And speaking of, I need to reach out to VoyagePhoenix.com magazine because I need copies of my magazine moving forward. I'm going to start reaching out to businesses and or corporations in regard to possibly sponsoring my platforms and or donating to the cause and whatever else. And, I want to show them that, the Vegas Valley has, looked at me as a gem or a influencer due to my podcast and due to my story or whatever. And, I want to see if some of these places, cause I've been doing a hell of a lot of research in regard to a lot of things. There are a lot of different, corporations and or businesses and stuff like that centered around my niche, which is addiction and recovery. So anyway, I'm going to reach out to a lot of these different corporations and see if they can possibly, form a link for 5% off or 10% off of some of their merchandise or whatever else the case may be until I get my shit popping. What is it called? Something dropping. Oh my God, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, ship dropping. So I've been researching that. I have an account with Shopify. I'm going to see if I can get an account with Temu and do some affiliate marketing. So I have my foot, arms, toes, whatever. I have them in a lot of different places. So I'm trying to energize all those different places that I have. How can I say that the universe guided me to, because I don't want any more blessings to slip through my fingers, because by now I probably could have been at a certain level considering, I let those blessings slip through my fingers. The good thing is in regard to the other podcasting platform that I'm on, I'm still getting individuals that want to have interviews with me. I wanted to create a video for that platform and let them know that I truly apologize for not replying back and being active on that platform and whatever else. I don't want those people to think that I don't want their interviews, or I don't, or vice versa. And plus that's money. But another thing that the universe wants me to do is gain some stability and get grounded. So this is another thing that I've been working on, considering I'm ADHD, I'm all over the place in regard to just not being grounded. So I've been straightening up a lot of motherfucking papers and doing this and doing that. All of the shit that I want to take care of, I'm going to take care of before I move to my new place, because I don't want to move in my place. I don't want to move into my new place bringing old habits. So I'm trying to break those old habits now before I, get gone, because please, all new energy is going to be following me moving forward. I don't want any negative shit following me nowhere. But anyway, let me end this. I think I rambled enough. 43:55 time of this recording. Once again, I do apologize, you guys, for, being all over the place, but, that little bit of what I told y'all should, fulfill y'all until my next, episode. And I will, promise to, I can't promise anything, because who knows what and where and what I'll be doing. But, I will try to write down notes, because I'm trying to be more, how can I say it? I'm trying to be more in the moment in regard to grabbing a piece of paper and a pen and writing down even stuff, even what I want from the universe. I need to start writing stuff down, because, when you write stuff down, it makes it more, how can I say it? It just puts more energy and action into those, words that you wrote down on a piece of paper. But anyway, let me go. 44:55 time of the recording. All right, you guys. Once again, thank you all for listening, downloading, and staying with me. I really do appreciate it. I will, try to get back with you guys, soon, rather than later. But until then, thanks. Spiritual hugs, and to my addicts that are still suffering in silence, I'm coming for y'all asses in a whole different way. All right. Until then, namaste.